Hello Virgo, this is Gypsy Spirit here, ready to read you your tarot cards for the month of May. And I've already drawn your cards. We'll get through the formalities very quickly. If you always have to keep in mind that these readings are a general reading. They're not going to resonate with everybody. Some of it you may resonate with and other parts of it you may not. What you resonate with, hang on to it and work with it. What you don't resonate with, just toss it. But you can get your very own personal reading if you just go to the description box below and see my website. You can go to my website and get your own personal reading. Also, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, please do so by hitting the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you that have already subscribed. It really means a lot. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got some bonus cards that I drew for you. I'm using the Map and Flower Oracle cards. So we'll go ahead and get started. You know, Virgo, I'm very concerned for you because it looks like you're running a rat race. You're trying to do too much all at once, and you're not finding the balance. You have a Two of Pentacles in reverse. Now, Pentacles is about money, okay? But you also have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, okay? Again, about money. And then Four of Swords upright, all right? So this tells me that you have really been struggling to find balance with money and work, and it's not working for, you know, whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever kind of balance you're trying to get, it's not working for you. You're going to have to figure out a different way. Even the Eight of Pentacles, again, we're talking about money. Maybe you started studying for something or thought that you wanted to start doing a particular kind of trade or whatever, and it didn't pan out for you, or you decided that you didn't want to do it. And so I get the feeling that for some of you, you're just grasping at straws, you know, trying to figure out what to do and not really knowing what to do. And you're, you know, everything is just, it's like you're everywhere. And I have to ask you, I mean, like, when was it last time that you really took some time for yourself? When was the last time that you really went off alone and meditated and just let everything go? Because I'm feeling that for some of you, you know, there's been some financial struggles and you're just going around and around in circles, trying to keep up with the finances and trying to figure out what you want to do. Maybe there's a business you want to start, or you want to learn something new, but you know, you're just, you know, so scattered everywhere. And so, you know, I have to say that for some of you, I'm feeling there's a lot of anxiety. And I don't know why that came to me. My son just walked through the room here, and he walks really hard. And we live in a very old house. It was built in 1931. It's a really cool little witch's cottage, if you will. And he's not, you know, a big kid or anything, but he's 20, and he just walked through the area, my little parlor, if you will, and he was walking really hard, so it was causing my camera to shake a little bit. So if there was any shaking, that was because my son, but I bring him up because he has terrible anxiety, and to the point where he's on medication for it. And I'm always afraid to go in his room, because I swear to God, I think every time I think about opening that door, I think something really scary or horrible is going to jump out and bite me, because he keeps the nastiest, dirtiest room. I mean, he doesn't keep plates or dirty dishes in his room, but I mean, it's like, I don't know if he's ever folded his clothes. He's doing good I'm doing good if I can get him to wash his bed sheets like once every 3 or 4 months. I mean, he's just a typical 20-year-old college type kid. And I remember one day, you know, he's in some support groups, and some of them are like for anxiety. And I said to him one day, I said, you know, if you clean your room and you organize your room very nicely, that will help you with your anxiety. And he said that he's heard that before. So I'm just telling you, Virgo, you know, if your home is in disarray, you know, clutter everywhere, whatever, in your room, in your car, whatever, you might want to consider clearing that out, getting it clean, because when you do that, it's like you start to feel better, because right now it's like you're just like everywhere, and you get so bogged down and overwhelmed. I'm feeling that for some of you, you're just really overwhelmed. You know, if you were to walk into my son's room, if that's the kind of room you have, then you're overwhelmed. Just walking in there thinking, oh my God, I have to clean all of this, you know, and you just let it pile and get worse and worse. So it does something to the spirit. So I have your map card. And it's very interesting because your map card is the big elephant, and it's listening. So you really have to listen to the universe. You have to listen to your heart. You have to listen to your higher divine self. And by clearing out some space, that's how you're going to be able to do that. Because as you notice, there's an elephant and there's a bird that's chirping music on top of the elephant's head. And so, you know, I do a food delivery sometimes. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of DoorDash, but I do a little DoorDash every now and again. And especially like on a Sunday or Saturday afternoon. And right now here in Charleston, South Carolina, it's really nice. And the weather's nice and warm. And I can be driving along and I have my windows down and I hear the birds, you know, and it's so beautiful. So, you know, what I'm trying to tell you is if you can put yourself in a position like that to where you can just step outside, listen to the birds and listen to the universe, listen to nature. And get back in tune with nature, because that's what I'm feeling that for many of you need to do. You know, you got the Four Swords here, you know. Swords is conflict. And 4 is all about rest, honey. You need some rest. You just need to rest. And your card is Daisy. And, you know, now it's time to get daisies because you know, we're in springtime going into summer, and it says you've had so much going on. Oh, really? You've had so much going on that you're spread too thin. This has to change now so your vitality can recharge. So, oh my God, look at this. Look at this. You got, you know, your 4 swords and then your daisy card telling you to take some rest. And Gypsy Spirit's telling you to take some rest too. Because once you do, all that's going to come clear to you. And I'll tell you a little story. The house, you know, I was telling you about my house earlier. I moved into this house back in November, and I had my intentions when I first moved in here was I was going to turn it into a place where people could come to me and I could read their tarot. We could have, you know, I could serve them tea and desserts and things like that. And I could do weekly meditations with, you know, the community and stuff here in the house. And something happened with my job. And the very day that I moved, something happened with my job. And I just completely freaked out. I put a halt on everything. I stopped everything. I mean, I was kind of on a roll doing the tarot readings here at my home and doing other little things. But I just put a complete halt to it because my financial world was really spinning out of control. And I didn't know what to do about it. And I would say over the past couple of months, a couple of people, friends of mine that knew about my move and why I was moving and everything, I've had a couple of people say, don't forget why you moved there. And I did. I lost track. I forgot why I moved here because I was so busy and so wound up trying to figure out how I was going to make money. I went from making $1,000 a week to making $250 a week. That's what happened. and I had just moved into a place where my rent, I went from one place where the rent was, a certain amount of money, and then I moved to another place where the rent was higher than what it was before, and it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? My things are changing on my job, and I don't know what to do. And so, I've always somehow managed to pay the rent. And the money's come in. I mean, I haven't been late on any of my bills, and I eat very well, as you can probably tell. But this past full moon, I was off for 4 days. I was off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And it was the full moon over the weekend, and I had all these things that I was going to do to keep up with my tarot readings and things like that. And I slept the whole weekend. It was like I was so drained and so tired, and I just slept and slept and slept. And finally, by Monday morning, something came to me, and all of a sudden, I just felt this, it was like the world had been lifted off my shoulders. And I realized that I had left what I had begun, what I had started out of fear. And that it was time for me to get back on track. So even when they announced a new change in my job that same weekend that I was sleeping the whole weekend, it just didn't even faze me. I was like, that's okay, because that job is just to supplement me and get me through until I can get my other stuff started and going really good, because this is not, doing the kind of job I've been doing to make my living is not really what I'm supposed to be doing. The universe is taking care of me in that aspect so that I can pay my bills while I'm working on this other stuff. So that's all I'm trying to tell you is, I mean, you may experience when your soul and your spirit is just ready to let go, you may experience several days where all you want to do is sleep. And that's really a good sign, because your body and your spirit and everything, you need that. You have to have that. So Virgo, I'm so interested in hearing your story. So please, if you feel free, please leave a comment. I always respond. May not respond right away, but I do get to them. And thank you so much for listening. And I hope things work out for you this May. And until we see each other again next time. Bye-bye.